Hello, this is Waste Handling Solutions here, and I've got kind help from Jim. We're going to make a short video showing how to use a twin chambered baler. This one is specifically a model 5070 that produces bales weighing about 50 kilograms. Very simple single phase supply, which if it was installed in a building, preferably a wall, roughly where Jim is, with the socket up here in the middle of the rear of the baler. First thing you do, there's one already done, is you thread the twine over, make sure it's over the pin. There's a little pin in that channel, so over the top, and then you pull it through and feed it through the opening in the front door, and then at this point you tie a very simple knot. You just fold it on itself and then tie a knot so that you have a loop, a non-slipping loop. And then there is a peg in the middle of the front of the door that you slip it on, and you've now got a slack piece of twine inside the chamber. Can you see the channel section in the bottom? What you have to do is make sure that that twine is within the channel section. And Jim kindly has got ready in his hand a twine fork, which will push through into the chamber, push it down through into the back, and that's it. Okay, it is fiddly, but if you can access the back of the chamber, there's an even easier way. You literally just, if I can get my fingers in there, if you can you push it through just a little bit, please, Jim? A bit more, that's it. There we go, I've got it. No, I haven't. That's right, this is very real. And try again. That's it, I've got it now. And what you can actually do is just pull it taut. There we are. And that is now, as long as it's lying in the channel section, and we'll just do this one here as well, and just make sure there. Actually, one thing I forgot to say, the twine sits in buckets on the back, and these twine buckets or bins literally fit over a horizontal bar on the rear. It's powered, as we say, by a single phase electric standard 13 plug, and the controls on it are very simple. There are two. There is an off button, on button, and then to send it up and down, inside here is a lever. Also, for reference purposes, there's a few pictorial images showing how to operate it. So this is lever A. If you push it down, the machine will start. It will send the press plate down, and when it reaches the bottom or on top of material which is in there, it will automatically switch over and come back up again. So once you put material in, all you need to do is push down and it will push back up. Now, coming back to this chamber, so you do the same in either chamber. In here you put a nice piece of cardboard which is approximately the same size as the bottom of the chamber, so that both, as long as both pieces of twine are fully covered. You will need to do the same on the top as well, just before we tie off the bale. And what we do now is just fill it with cardboard as randomly as possible. Okay, thank you. We'll have a little pause there and come back in a sec. Jim's been kindly filling this, and as long as you fill it, as I say, randomly as possible, but evenly fill each layer as you put it in. These bars here and here, don't fill above that bar, otherwise when the head comes over it'll make it difficult to come over and you may get trapped. You've got to be careful not to trap your fingers. It is a one-man operation, and to move the head you pull the apron towards you. There is a pin in the back of the apron that fits into this hole, so therefore to move it you have to lift it out, and at the same time this here operates a, I don't know if you can carefully hear a click, that operates a limit switch so that the machine cannot operate whilst the apron is pulled back. So you just gently pull it over. There's some rubber bump stops that it sits down against. Put the apron back down, push the lever down, do a compaction cycle so it will go down. You can see it will start to creak and groan, which is normal as it pushes past the nicely painted. There we go, right down, and then automatically comes back up. And the bail height, as you saw even when it was compressed, is about here, about where the retention latches are, which is correct. So we will now go through the tying off process. So move the head out of the way. Yep, all good. That's all pushed down nice and dense. Put another piece of cardboard which fits pretty well across the top again, so that as long as it covers between both pieces of twine, and then we pull the twine across. There is a little finger hole. Jim's got one that side, there's one here, so that you can pull the twine through. You then thread it through the slot. Make sure you've got enough to reach the other piece of twine that you've already got the loop in, and then use the safety knife on the front of the chamber to cut the twine. So you need to have the twine which is going around the bail, so it's going around the bottom, up the back and across the top. The other piece you just discard, as Jim's done, on top of the bail. So that's one side, and then you take the loop off. And give it a good tug. That's it. Make it all nice and tight. Now this is it's very simple. You put it through the loop that you made earlier, and use it. Yep. And then we do the same for this side. Right, you know, bring the head back over, grab both. This is where, if anybody's water skied, they'll be able to do this very, very easily. Give it both a good tug, keep the tension on, and then with one hand push the button down so that the press plate goes down. And then you'll keep your finger on top of the button, the lever, yeah, just keep the tension. And so what happens is as it gets to the turnover, the button will flick up. All you do is with your finger on the top, you prevent it coming all the way up so that the press plate doesn't go back up. So now or you can switch it off, but now you've got the bail under pressure. You can relax a little bit, and this is at the point where you tie the bail off, and all you do is tie a very, very simple knot. You do 1, 2, 3. That's it. Enough room to get your hand around, and if you do them both a similar tension, so there we are, through the loop, and then again 3 more simple knots. You don't need to be as drastic as Jim. If you've got long hair, best you tie it away. You know, you tie it out the way. Not you don't have to shave your head. That is optional. Thanks, Jim. Okay, and then you push the lever up to send the press plate up. That's it. Then, I don't know if you saw, then the twine goes into the chamber as the cardboard expands. And now we move the head out of the way, open the bale door. Now if you notice how Jim stood to the right, cardboard's okay. If you're baling plastic film, that will produce a lot more potential energy, and the door may open a little bit more vigorously. It won't open too far, but it will push it open a little bit further, should I say. Right, you then grab the trolley, and the two channel sections where you'd originally threaded the twine, you put the points in, and just gently lever. Don't need to go in too far to start with. Gently lever. That's it. In a little bit more. Lever again. You can do it stage by stage, and in again. And there we are. And the bale comes out. Good size, nice size bale. And you start all over again. Thank you very much, Jim.